Hi, I'm Patrick Hoban, and we're doing our 7-minute teachings, and I've been enjoying them tremendously, and I hope you have too. And we covered an awful lot of ground already about this wonderful truth and wonderful blessing called the baptism in the Holy Spirit. And I want to share a few more things that has helped people receive this wonderful gift. We talked about, standing on the promise, using that as a way to know, even though there might be a period of time before that full release happens in our life, it's still a promise to us as believers. We talked about it being a gift, like Christ earned a gift and then he gave it to us, his bride. But there's a few other things that I have seen over the years that can be a hindrance. And one of them is that we don't want to do it the Bible way. Now, the Holy Spirit can come upon your life at any time. You can be praying in your room, asking God to fill you, and God will fill you with the Holy Spirit. I remember one time I knew somebody that was in children's church, and she got the CD that I was preaching, and she listened to it, and she knelt down beside her bed and asked God to fill her right then, and she started speaking in tongues. And she called me up and she said, I've been speaking in tongues already all day. And I didn't realize that she had never been filled with the Holy Spirit before. This was her first experience. And she received the Holy Spirit as she was praying beside her bed in her room. Now, but that's not the normative way. That's not the normative way. We see again and again in the scriptures the laying on of hands for the receiving of the Holy Spirit. Now, we talked about this earlier in Acts chapter 8. After Philip had preached to the Samaritans, they hadn't received the Holy Spirit yet. And so Peter and John went down and prayed for them and laid hands on them, and then they received the Holy Spirit. In fact, later on there was a magician called Simon, and he saw that through the laying on of hands the Holy Spirit was given, and he thought he could buy it with money. It's a gift. So we see that again. We see later on Paul meeting some disciples, and he asked them, did you receive the Holy Spirit when you believed? And they said, well, we didn't even know there was such a thing as the Holy Spirit. And he laid hands on them, and they received the Holy Spirit and prophesied and spoke in tongues. So oftentimes we have to get off our pride horse. Sometimes we'll just say, God, if you really want me to be filled with the Holy Spirit, just do it. And we don't want to go forward and get prayed for. Now, it's very important. If you go forward and get prayed for, you go forward to people that already believe in the Holy Spirit, that believe in the baptism in the Holy Spirit. A lot of churches, they don't experience it on a monthly basis, not even a weekly basis, because they don't believe in it. So it's important to find believers that have already been baptized in the Holy Spirit, and they can pray for you, they can lay hands on you, and then you can receive it also. So sometimes our pride gets in the way. We don't want to go forward and do it the Bible way. Then the next step really is to press through. Jesus said that, tarry in Jerusalem, wait. And I shared this before about like standing on the promises. Oftentimes God is doing something in us, and there's like an area that we don't want to surrender. But as we continually yield to Him, as we continually surrender to Him, the Holy Spirit is pointing out things. I want you to surrender that. I want you to surrender that. Paul even talks about it as the circumcision of the heart. It's that area of our lives, that fleshly part of our lives that the Holy Spirit wants complete control over. We sometimes say, God, we want more of you, but really it's God that wants more of us. And when He has all of us, then He can do tremendous things for us. So sometimes we have to press through that barrier. So don't give up, press through. I wish sometimes we'd have more time in churches praying for one another. There's some churches that really do a wonderful job of it, where people can come forward and get prayed for, or they can kneel down and seek God and yield to Him and let God do a work in their lives. But so many churches, they don't give that opportunity, and I think we're missing out. We're missing out tremendously. And I know I have been in churches where people have come forward and knelt down and let the Holy Spirit do a work in their lives, and they get up from that time of prayer, that time of surrender, and the Holy Spirit invades their life and changes them. And we need more of that, especially in this world today that's so broken, that's so bound, that's so oppressed. We need times where we can just seek God and let the Holy Spirit do a work in us. So press through, do it the Bible way, let the Holy Spirit do a work, and He will do a work in your life. You can do it right now. You can do it in the privacy of your bedroom. Spend time with Him. Tell Him to refill you with the Holy Spirit if you have been filled before, or if you've never been filled. Ask Jesus, Lord, I need that infilling. I'm going to press through until you do a work in my life. God bless you.